It's October 2nd, 2023, and these are your headlines. Now, if you're watching us on video, you can tell I'm actually on the road. We're actually headed to Colony Ridge. You can check out my X profile, texasscorecard.com later on, and check out some of what we're seeing on the ground. But of course, the stories do continue. It is the daily headline. Today is a day. So I do want to talk about some of the big stories. The biggest one being the fact that the ramifications surrounding the failed impeachment attempt against Attorney General Ken Paxton continue to appear as another member of the Texas Freedom Caucus has announced he will be leaving the group, citing the incident. Now, for those who don't know, the Texas Freedom Caucus was founded in 2017 with the stated mission of amplifying the grassroots. And during its first session, it served as a means for the chamber's more conservative members to organize against then-Speaker Joe Straus. Following Straus's departure, however, the group's mission has become murkier, as members have generally sided with House leadership. And this dynamic has led to some notable defections, especially in recent weeks. Starting in 2019, when the caucus aligned itself with now disgraced former Speaker Dennis Bonnen, Jonathan Stickland, when he was in the legislature, left the caucus saying he needed to focus on the conservative agenda. Bonnen was, of course, later forced to leave the legislature following a quid pro quo scandal and was replaced by Speaker Dade Phelan. But although the gavel had changed hands, the caucus's allegiance to leadership had not. Following his predecessor's precedent, Phelan appointed Democrats to leadership positions with the support of many of the caucus's own members. By the way, for example, State Representative Briscoe Cain, who now serves as the vice chair of the Freedom Caucus, even gave a prepared speech in support of giving Democrats chairmanships right there on the House floor. That led to the departure of Representative Tony Tinderholt and former State Representative Kyle Biederman from the caucus in February of 2021. Now, the failed impeachment attempt against Attorney General Ken Paxton has served as just the latest catalyst for another wave of departures. Half of the caucus members voted in favor of impeachment, and two of their own members, State Representative Cody Vasut and Briscoe Cain, served on the House Board of Impeachment Managers, the very people arguing the case or bringing the case to the Senate. After the Senate acquitted Paxton on all impeachment charges last month, State Representative Steve Toth announced he was leaving the caucus, citing the impeachment as his reason for doing so. Representative Nate Schatzline has now followed suit, saying today, he said, quote, "I'm very excited to see the grassroots uniting like never before. Following the acquittal of Ken Paxton, one thing is clear, we have to fight to reform the Texas House. The status quo is leading us down a path of division and obstruction." Meanwhile, the caucus has also seen departures over the years from the more liberal members of the group, people like Jeff Leach and Matt Shaheen, who have left the caucus in years past. The dwindling membership leaves questions about the caucus's future and purpose, with the caucus chairman, State Representative Matt Schaefer, announcing earlier this year he will not be seeking re-election. The number of members that are set to return next session is currently at only 9. Notably, the caucus is not a part of the Freedom Caucus National Network, which is affiliated with the conservative caucus that you might have heard of that's based in, of course, Washington, D.C., in the United States House. Have you seen Harris County Judge Lina Hidalgo? No, really, have you seen her? We're looking for her. Certainly Harris County residents are. In fact, some Harris County residents have filed a petition against Judge Lina Hidalgo calling for her removal from office, arguing that she's abandoned her duties and responsibilities as the elected head of the county government. Now, in early August, Hidalgo's office announced that she'd be taking a leave of absence to seek inpatient treatment for depression, though she had been absent since late July. Hidalgo last attended a commissioner's court meeting on July 27th of this year. She has since abandoned her office and failed to perform her duties and responsibilities, according to their complaint. The plaintiffs claim she's missed 6 court meetings. A spokesman for her office blasted the petition, calling it meritless. Now, if Hidalgo were removed from office, the Harris County Commissioner's Court would be authorized to appoint a replacement to serve until the next general election takes place. Lastly, can you imagine not paying local property taxes? Well, citizens of Von Ormy, Texas can, as they fought off efforts this week to impose a property tax on city residents. A small city of about 1,200 people was incorporated as what was called a Liberty City. The intent is to avoid annexation by the city of San Antonio while offering citizens and businesses limited government regulation and taxation. Art Martinez-Devar advocated for incorporation, and as mayor committed to minimize and eventually eliminate residents' property tax burdens as the city became established. And so, Von Ormy abolished property taxes in 2014. Sales taxes and fees fund the city's operation. This year, however, new city leadership and Administrator Valerie Naff proposed changing that and adding a new property tax. Not only that, but the new proposed rate would have brought the city from a tax rate of 0 to the second highest rate in Bexar County. And because of citizens speaking up, the proposal has been killed, at least for this year. Now, Von Ormy is not the only property tax-free city in Texas, by the way. Stafford, which is located in Fort Bend County, also does not levy a property tax, relying instead on sales taxes and sound fiscal management. For more of today's stories, check out TexasScorecard.com.
No ads, no paywalls, no government grants, and no corporate masters. Just real news for real Texans. This is Texas Scorecard.